Blog Talk Radio.
Hello, friends. Good day to you. Today is January 23rd, 2019. This is Molly McCord. Welcome to our weekly show all about the astrology energies of right now and in the week ahead, where we talk about what we're feeling, what's going on, what's happening in the cosmos, and how to work with these energies at the highest possible levels with a great level of consciousness and empowerment. So thank you for joining me. If you're new to the program, welcome. Thank you for finding this podcast. It has been on the air for nearly 7 years now. And if you've been listening to the show for a while, welcome back. And thank you for returning. You know, a number of you have reached out to me in the past month or so, and you've said that you feel like I'm talking to you specifically, that I'm really describing your life and what you are going through. And so I have two things to share with you on that. One is that I'm really busy stalking each of you with drones and following your life. Or two, you are connected to universal oneness. You are feeling these energies. You are at a place of really being aware of yourself. And all of these messages are only affirming that you're feeling these energies, that you are connected. And I'm so excited that this information is resonating with you. It's supporting you. Some of you have said that this show has helped you week by week just get through life. And I know that the eclipses of last year have been big, and the energies have been big since 2012, really. And, you know, if you want to put this into another perspective, we're in a 3 universal year in numerology. So that means that in 2017, it was a 1 year. A 1 year is the initiation, the beginning. It's a masculine energy. It's a starting point. Last year was a 2 year that was balance, integration, feminine feeling, receptivity. Now in a 3 year, we bring in the third source, the third power. And you can look at it as mind, body, spirit. You can look at it as an integration and merging of the masculine and the feminine now becoming another energy field. You could look at it as that third force, that third energy that is now showing you more of the fullness of who you are. The 3 is very creative. It's about communication. It's about understanding what you have learned in the past 2 years, and that what we've been moving through here is such an important time in our own humanity's evolution. And so it's big at that level too. So we have all these different layers of our energies that are being worked with and felt, and I'm just glad that I can support you and offer something valuable and beneficial to help you on your path. So right now we are experiencing some shifts in the cosmos. The sun is currently at 3 degrees of Aquarius. And as I do this show live, Mercury is at 29 degrees of Capricorn. So it's highly possible that by the time you listen to this show, Mercury will then be in Aquarius. So I want to talk about that transition from Capricorn into Aquarius. Every astrological sign is very different from the one right next to it. They really don't always have a lot in common. The Capricorn energy, it is an earth sign. It is a cardinal sign which begins a season. It is known as a feminine energy. The Capricorn energy, when you look at the beginning of every year, we start the year with a focus. We start the year with, this is what I need to get done this year. This is what I want to achieve. You know, it's our resolutions, our intentions. The Capricorn energy brings us back to work. After the holidays, it brings us back to what we have to take responsibility for. It's when the credit card bills show up from the holidays, when you have to look at financial matters, you have to kind of map out and plan your life. The Capricorn energy is concerned typically with real world issues, and we know it as being a part of our career and our profession and our status in the world. These are all typical ways of describing Capricorn. We come back to business. We get back to work, and we go to our desks, and we say, okay, I got to get this done. I need to start this project this year. I need to take a look at what's on my desk. I need to really prioritize everything in front of me to figure out what I can commit to and to check in. So the Capricorn energy is very productive. It's very industrious. It's here to work. It's work, work, work. And so we start the year with this energy. And as we get to this typically it's the third week in January when the sun moves into Aquarius, we have to take a deep breath and say, okay, I can't just work all the time. And so the transition from Capricorn into Aquarius is where you look at, well, what else do I need in my life? And do I need to do all this alone? Capricorn can do a lot on its own. It is an energy of leadership. It is an energy of self-reliance and taking things on to get it done, to get the job done. But you don't want to go it alone. You need people, and you want to relate, and you want to know what the heck is going on in the world. So the Capricorn energy keeps us at our desk, and not only has the Sun and Mercury been in Capricorn, but of course Saturn and Pluto are in Capricorn, which adds more weight and seriousness to the energy. But now the transition into Aquarius is where we look up from the desk and we say, you know, I need to go hang out with my friends. I need to go to happy hour. I need to make time to connect with other people, with the world, to understand more about what really matters. I can't spend my whole life working. So it's where we start to socialize. Aquarius is a air sign. It is a fixed energy, which means it stabilizes. It likes routine. It likes to know what it can count on. And it is a masculine energy. So we have a need now to get out of the office and get around other people. And Aquarius is the energy of the world. It's about what's happening in the world, but what's happening with people. All of the air signs are about conversations and talking. The air signs are about ideas, what we share, what we think. And Aquarius gives us some kind of vision that we have obtained about the world. And because it's a fixed sign, you could have a fixed vision. You could have a sense of this is how the world is, and this is what I believe the world, how it's structured, what it looks like based on what I've seen, what I've done, what I've experienced. Aquarius is the 11th sign in the zodiac, so when you look at it as this ongoing journey of energy, the 11th sign, well, it's accumulated all this new energy, experiences, understanding since the sun entered Aries last March. Every March is when the zodiac begins a new cycle, and I always see this as a spiral, right, where the universe exists with energies that spiral, and so the energy spirals. And there's a sense that a higher perspective, it takes what we've learned and it puts it together in a puzzle. It takes the pieces and creates a vision, an understanding, a way to get a handle on maybe all the chaos in the world. Aquarius is where we then want to relate with those of similar values and similar mindsets. And it's the energy of groups, of community. It's the energy of humanity. And it's how we come together to create humanity at either unconscious or conscious levels. And it's how there's a pulse on the planet around the current energies. And it's related to the energy of each of us on the planet as represented through our own vibrations and frequencies, and how we are energetic beings that are always in relationship with other energies. We're in relationship, energetic relationship to the earth. energetic relationship to each other, energetic relationship to the world at large, right, and other people. And when there are mass meditations, for example, that affects the energy and the frequency on the planet. And it's been proven that when there is a greater focus on peace, it affects what is felt around the world. So this is all Aquarian energies. It's the bigger picture of how we're all one, how we're all connected. There is something called the Schumann Resonances, and I think I don't know if I'm pronouncing Schumann correctly, because I always read the word, I don't say the word, Schumann, and it is the frequency of the planet, and it keeps an eye on the frequency of the planet, and it was believed to be artificially messed with for a little while, and so there have been discrepancies around if it's accurate or not, but it's basically a measurement of global electromagnetic energies, and it is something that we feel, is something that we also contribute to as human beings. Coronal mass ejections from the Earth are energies that we receive too, are energies that we feel, and these are typically energies that we then feel in our body, but we don't always know what it's about, or we don't always know what is happening. So there's many ways that we're always in relationship with other energy fields, and those energy fields affect us, and it affects the collective, Aquarius. We're in the age of Aquarius, and this is where our awareness is rising around our collective energy fields. And this is why we understand the responsibility that we have on the planet even more at an energetic level, at a spiritual level, at an emotional level, and it's how we also can take ownership over ourselves as individuals. Now, every astrological sign is composed of a spectrum of energies. And Aquarius is not only the collective, you can think of it as collective evolution. It's associated with revolution as well, when you're not happy with the status quo. In Los Angeles recently there were the teacher strikes. I think there's some other cities that are undergoing teacher strikes right now. The strikes are Aquarian. Protests in the street are Aquarian energies. The people's voice, what the people want, what the people think. And these are all Aquarian energies. The other side of the Aquarian energy spectrum is the individual, is the rebel, is the one who stands out, who is different from the group, who is different from the collective. And those Aquarian energies show up too as the one who wants to be different, who says, I'm not going to fit in to society. I am not going to contribute to the status quo. And the individual energy within Aquarius reminds us how we are each individuals, we are each our own energy fields that contribute to the collective, but we maintain our own identity. We maintain our own sense of individuality. So this is also a strong Aquarian energy that, well, I'm going to do things my way. That's an Aquarian way of life. I don't care if I'm different. I don't care if I'm the oddball or the black sheep. I don't care if I wear this outfit and nobody else is wearing it. I like how my hair looks. I like being different. There's something usually, like it can be avant-garde. The Aquarian energy is very avant-garde because Aquarian energy takes us further. It takes us away from the earth, Capricorn, earth sign. It takes us away from the earth into other realms. So Aquarius is also associated with anything with sci-fi, metaphysics, such as astrology, and anything that's different, or typically it's perceived as weird first, right? Anything that's not part of what's quote-unquote normal, or it's out there. Anything out there is Aquarian, because the Aquarian intention is actually to evolve humanity, to take it further, to take us into new territories, new places we've never gone before. It's associated with outer space, technologies that are different and new. It's associated with aviation and flying. Aquarius is about how we get off the planet. It's how we go to other places. And that can be through through anything physical that gets us off the planet, such as rockets and planes and anything that flies, but also how we energetically want to get off the planet away from some of the energies that I think are the 3D densities. It's like the stuff that feels too heavy. It doesn't represent how you think anymore. Aquarius is an air sign. What do I think about this? What resonates with me? And because it's a fixed sign, it has mental strength to go its own way, to follow its own path. And that's what the assignment is for Aquarian energies and planets and points in a chart, is to go further with something, to be unique, to be the individual. So as we move through this age of Aquarius, where all these energies are stronger within each of us, we are receiving some activations around where we each want to be liberated, be free from who we thought we were or what we thought we had to do in the world, Capricorn, to move into what we declare is our own identity, how we declare our own individuation. And I believe that human design helps with this. I've shared human design with you about how human design is the science of differentiation, where you understand how you're different and what that means. And of course, astrology is another area where we understand our own individuality, which is why astrology is ruled by Aquarius and Uranus energies. It sets you apart. Aquarius is also then how we can feel a responsibility to take something back to a community or to be a part of a bigger energy field than just our own. So all these energies become active here with the Sun traversing Aquarius and Mercury traversing Aquarius. Typically, Aquarian energy is an extrovert, is a community builder, is an activist, is one who really wants to rally and get things moving and get something started. It can be very juicy and fun energy. It can be the I don't care what anyone thinks, let's just go for it as well. It's also a very strong mental energy, such as every air sign is. It's a thinker. It's associated with genius energies, with quick thoughts, with far-reaching thoughts, with going out into other places, other possibilities. And so as Mercury moves into Aquarius, it really helps with problem solving. So if you've been stuck in something or you've been hitting your head against a brick wall, this energy can open up new solutions. It can bring in the creative solutions that you just receive like that. It happens quickly, lightning fast breakthroughs. So we typically need this. We typically need to be able to get that breath of fresh air, the fresh idea, new movement. So we're really being encouraged right now to not stay locked in the office or not only focus on work, but who can support you? Who are your peeps? Who are the ones who have the same interests? It's a meetup group. It's anything where you can do something that resonates with who you are. It's something that is interactive, or even if it's on your own terms and alone, it's something that really gives you a reminder of who you are, and that does not depend on anybody else. It doesn't depend on anybody else. So I believe that this journey of the planets through Aquarius, it strengthens our perceptions, it strengthens our minds, it gives us a sense of how we each contribute to the collective energy field, and that each of us is needed to do so, and we're needed to participate in a way that isn't just mental, it's cosmic. Aquarius is cosmic. It is where we go further. On that note, it is starseeds, it is galactic information, it is the places off of the Earth that takes us away from the planet. And just a quick heads up that I was just on Starseed Radio Academy, which is on Blog Talk Radio and iTunes, speaking about astrology right now, as well as a more galactic or cosmic perspective on astrology. And I had great conversation with Lavendar and Ariel about the galactic codes in our charts, about where we're from other places, our energies. And it was a really good conversation. So if you want to check that out, Starseed Radio Academy on Blog Talk Radio. And they are also doing a few times a year, they do these crystal digs in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where some of the crystals and wonderful discoveries from Atlantis have been documented and have been found. And so if you're interested in doing anything like that, check out their website, starseedhotline.com. But these crystal digs happen 4 times a year when it lines up with the cosmic energies. And there's one in March, there's one in May, I believe there's one in November, I think there's one more, I want to say in August. But check out the ones that are coming next because it's typically a reunion with your soul family and with other people that you resonate with. So just want to throw that out there. So this is all Aquarian energies here, where we think bigger. We step into areas of our minds that we didn't know we had. And, they say that only a fraction of our brains are truly understood by science. And I believe that Aquarius energies is helping us understand more of what's capable in our minds and more of what we are coded and able to do that we're just moving into. And that's where humanity is going, is understanding more of what our minds can do, what our bodies can do, what our energy fields can do, and how it all works together. So it's quite fascinating, the Aquarian energies. They can be far out there. They're designed to have us think differently and to understand something from a new perspective or viewpoint. Now, as the Sun and Mercury move through Aquarius, they're going to make harmonious connections to a number of planets. And this is going to be quite fast-moving energy because that's what Aquarius likes. It can talk fast, it can move fast, it can solve quickly. It can do quantum leaps. Aquarius is associated with the quantum field, quantum physics, quantum energies. So the Sun is going to move forward, and it will make connections to Mars and Uranus in Aries, and it will connect with Jupiter in Sagittarius. And this is going to be a fast-moving, vivacious, invigorating energy. And it's going to feel different than maybe what January started out as, because it's like things pick up the pace. The energy gets moving where you're like, I've got to do this. Things are moving. I've got to say yes. Not only does it add more energy, but we have all the planets direct right now. All the planets are direct. So we already have the winds at our back, and there's an element of divine timing happening here where you're meant to move forward. You're meant to step into what's next and to honor these new parts of yourself, to honor what you know is truly you. And going back to the energy of this being a 3-year, it's that integration of the masculine and the feminine coming together where you understand your ego, but you understand your heart, and you understand what you want, and you understand what you need. You understand what you need to go for and make it happen, but you understand where you surrender and where you allow. It's a very interesting place of empowerment when these energies come together, when they merge, and it creates that third force, that third energy of integration and higher alignment with what your soul is capable of. To exist on this planet, we had to choose a gender. If you're not a gender, what are you? It's the pop quiz. If you're not a gender, you're a robot. Right? Mechanics don't have genders. They could be programmed to have a gender. They could be given something, but it's artificial. So part of our humanity, part of our power is our gender, is our ability to be the masculine and the feminine. And then energetically, when we merge that together, we become more powerful because we have an understanding of the fullness of our soul, the fullness of our manifestation abilities. It's also a fullness of universal laws and how to be in harmony with the bigger energy fields, in harmony with yourself. It's when you know how to trust yourself really deeply. It's that sense of, oh, I should wait on this, I shouldn't force this. Or it's that nudge where you're like, I have to go for it, I have to commit, I have to say yes. So we start to navigate from this higher awareness, this higher consciousness of all of our energies. And that's our power. That's our power. And so we don't want to be robots, although they have been testing that for a while now, where they've had soldiers programmed as robots. Yeah, you should Google it. So disturbing. They have now robots that you can have sexual intercourse with. They have all these robots that are now being tested in supermarkets, right? Like we're supposed to get comfortable interacting with robots. All Aquarian stuff. Of course, the self-driving cars. The big push over the holidays to buy these devices in your home that you talk to that are just recording us. They're just gathering more data. They're just learning more about humans so that information can be applied to artificial intelligence and virtual realities. So here we are, all of us in our humanness, providing all this data that can be used for technology, and it all comes down to intention. What is this being used for? What is the purpose behind this? Is this good for humanity? There's, of course, a lot of discussions out there about how artificial intelligence, AI, is something to be concerned about. There's articles out there about that too, and I believe it is part of our responsibility right now to be aware of these issues and where things are going, because a lot of times it's presented in a way where we don't have a choice. We're just supposed to be excited about it. Oh, goody, a self-driving car. Like, do we need that? Oh, awesome, a robot in the supermarket. Do we need that? You know, it's presented in a way that it can feel like we're passive, but we're not. We never are. So this is Aquarian topics. What do we need technology for, and where does it go too far? What do we need in our lives? Technology makes things easier, faster, convenient. It's a necessity these days. But where is it overboard? Where is it too much? And where is it going down the wrong path? These are big ethical and moral discussions, and we are always given an opportunity to stay aware of what we want and aware of what we need. So Aquarian topics are going to be coming front and center, and they are going to be part of what we are going to notice here in the age of Aquarius is the role of technology in our lives. We all carry around a smartphone these days that's collecting data on us. Perhaps you're aware, perhaps not. Google has a citizen profile on every single person who uses Google, and they've been collecting data on you and on me ever since we started signing up for a Gmail account. It has so much information on us that's why we get quote unquote to use Google for free, because we're giving our data in exchange for the services. And so that's an ethical issue of, well, wait, did I agree to that? And you have this database on billions of people. So what's that being used for? There are really good articles out there on this information, the Google Citizen Profile. Every website you've ever visited, any person you've ever been friends with online, every email you've sent, all this is documented. Everything online is kept forever. It's never deleted. The internet is always, it's just a live database where you can never delete it. In fact, there was even recently on Samsung phones, people realized they could never delete Facebook, the Facebook app from their phone. And they're like, well, that's a violation of my privacy. Well, the Facebook app was built in, so that meant Facebook was always collecting data on you if you had that phone. You could never turn it off. So there's going to be more revelations about how companies, Capricorn, are using our data, are collecting information on us and what's really happening. Some of these have been public, of course, the huge Facebook data breach last year, but there's a lot that's not revealed yet. And this is where when Saturn and Pluto both go into Aquarius, and when Jupiter goes into Aquarius, there's going to be even more around the morality and ethical limits of data, of technology, of what's needed, of all these points. Because to find out that Google has basically, probably decades of data on you, and you're just one person out of billions, well, that's something that's good to know, because it gives whoever has data has power, all the power. And so what is that being used for? Is it being used for good or for bad? And then I think there is the concept, too, of, well, I would like to be given a choice. And if I'm on YouTube, and if I'm using Google platforms, and if I'm using Google apps, is there a choice where I don't have to give my data? So all this is current right now. All this is already happening in front of us. And astrologically, it's showing us that it's going to keep gaining momentum. There's going to be more that comes up, more issues. It'll probably be many more legal issues, political issues, legislation issues. In the EU, of course, there is the GDPR around disclosing how your email is used, the privacy policy and the terms. So we're in it. We're already in it. But the Aquarian energy is going to highlight more of what's happening and how it affects humanity, how it affects where we're going. And it's important to keep in mind that, again, we don't want to lose our humanity. We don't want to give everything over to technology. So there's interesting topics ahead, and this is part of the age of Aquarius. So the sun's journey through Aquarius is going to highlight more about human rights, communities, the strikes, and the sense of what we want, because it's the we. It's the we energy. And there is an opportunity here to look at how you participate and how you contribute in the world with your own Aquarian energy. So wherever Aquarius is in your chart is the area of life that is highlighted for you as the sun traverses through Aquarius. Now, I've mentioned before that I'm starting a brand new weekly transit class, and that is happening now. I'll be putting the link below this show, and you can join me in this 30-minute class as I go through the transits right now of every week and talk about what's happening specifically and where you need to be aware of certain things in your chart. This is going to be wonderful for growing and expanding your astrology understanding. You do need to have basics of your chart understood, planets, signs, houses, and aspects, because I'm not going to go into any of the basics of astrology. But if you're at intermediate level, if you're ready to keep learning and you want to learn not only about your chart but about astrology in general, you're going to get so much out of this class. It's every Wednesday. Replay is available, so you can always catch up. And I teach visually, so you look on your screen and follow along. Check out the details below this podcast. And if you use the coupon code podcast, you can save on the monthly price. So use the coupon code podcast for a special discount, a special deal, because I really want to help you understand this even more. So that's part of where we're going with Aquarius Energy, is into astrology and understanding your own energy better. So let's take a look here at what else we have going on this week. We tend to feel buzzier under Aquarius. There could be a sense of, oh, my nervous system feels different. There's more electricity going through my body. I'm energized. It does depend on how Aquarian energy works in your chart, but there's a sense of things picking up. It's a higher vibration, a higher frequency, and it gives new life. I'm seeing it as the brain, synapses picking up pace and making more connections. There's a need to think things through, to think more, to get more understanding, perspective, ideas, creativity. It's a very creative energy because Aquarian thinks new thoughts. And I think of it as in our brains, these new synapses or things that connect, it's like they form new energy bursts in our minds. It's like stars forming. And you're meant to be really awake mentally, and you're meant to feel it's like this energy bigger than you that comes in and gives you some lightning bolts, give you some jolts. Please drink your water. Please remember to stay grounded and to not move too fast physically. I mean, you could literally get more like static hits, right? Like if you've ever been some places you get static, like static electricity. That's kind of the energy, too, of like you're just, oh, wow, like I got zapped. There's that sense of things connecting that didn't connect before. There's the bigger picture, a way forward, again, the creative problem solving, and a sense of new possibilities where maybe if you felt you didn't have energy, you couldn't move, there was something you just couldn't do, this is going to be a time period where there is dynamic movement. And let's see here. The sun in Aquarius is going to be trailing Mars in Aries. So they're not going to make any exact aspects, but these are both forward-moving energies, forward-moving. And then Mercury will make a sextile to Mars February 8th because Mercury moves fast. So Mercury in Aquarius will sextile Mars on February 8th at 25 degrees. Great time for anything to do with meeting with people, connections, conversations, getting something moving. It's almost like you could just feel like things have finally busted through. And that is coming up after the Aquarius new moon on February 4th. So that will be nice for everything moving forward too. And we're just going to get a little bit of a break from the Capricorn intensity. Now, we always are going to have Capricorn energies right now throughout this year because of Saturn and Pluto in Capricorn. But now we get movement forward with the sun moving forward and Mercury moving forward. Venus is going to move into Capricorn February 3rd. Right now, she is still in Jupiter. She's in Sagittarius. She's conjunct Jupiter. So she has been in Jupiter. They've been traveling together. This Venus and Jupiter conjunction in Sag has made things bigger, better. Hopefully you've received something positive, even if it's just an energy download. It's good news. It could be money. It could be invitations. Anything from women, because of Venus being the feminine, any invitations, any opportunities, anything of good luck, of good choice. It's a great time to be aware of how, say yes, go for it, feel this invigoration and this upliftment. It can bring in new people as well. So Venus is going to move away from Jupiter and move through Sagittarius here, but she definitely received buoyancy and support and some good love from that Jupiter in Sagittarius conjunction. Now, we also have Chiron finishing up time in Pisces. And this I always want to talk softer when I talk about Chiron and Pisces. I always want to mellow out, because it's such a letting go when any planet is at the last few degrees of Pisces, because it symbolizes the end of 360 degrees. So Chiron is in 28 degrees of Pisces and will be in then 29 degrees of Pisces through February and move back into Aries February 19th. So I feel like what we're also feeling, it can be a grief or a mourning or an ending to a significant part of your life. This does depend on age. It does depend, of course, where the Chiron in Pisces energy is working in your chart. If the 28 or 29 degrees are working with any planet point or specific area of your chart that's key for you. And it is a letting go, and you're meant to just keep focusing on that letting go, on the completion, on forgiveness of yourself, of others, of everyone, It is the Ho'oponopono prayer. It is a exhale. It's a really deep exhale. So for all the ways life gets busier right now, there could be a part of your energy field that feels really quiet. It's a silence. Ideally, it's a clearing out, it's a purification, it's a return. I'm getting this visual of a crystal ball that's clear. It's been cleared out, cleared away, almost like you spray on the Windex and you just keep shining it up and you just keep polishing it to let things go. You could apply this to each of the chakras, purifying each chakra, letting things go. And wherever this energy is moving for you is where you are letting go. It's been ongoing, by the way, for probably about a year and a half because of the Chiron retrogrades. And so you're ending something over this next month between now and February 18th, 19th that you're really meant to find peace with. And to keep in mind that at a spiritual level, at a soul level, there is no one way that something completes perfectly. Too often our egos or our minds have a desire for a certain type of ending or a certain type of completion. It's like, I'll be at peace if this happens. We apply our terms. We apply our expectations or our attachments. And Chiron in Pisces right now is asking you to please let all that go. Please don't apply anything. Please just see something as an experience that you had, an experience to learn from, an experience to grow from, an experience to heal from. And you'll have new experiences here going forward, of course, but let yourself be at peace with what is. There's a wonderful quote by Ram Dass, which is that whatever you have an attachment or aversion to, then that is your work. Whatever you have an attachment or aversion to, then that is your work. And this Chiron in Pisces is asking us to be neutral, to be peace, to be stillness, to be acceptance, to not attach to any other outcome, to not be averse to what is. And what I'm seeing now is if you were to go into your body, where would you feel peace? Where would you feel stillness? And maybe you don't feel it, but actually you can always connect in your heart. If you simply put your hand on your heart and you feel your beating heart, you'll feel that there is a place within those pulses that's peace. And the idea is to visualize a peace in the body that grows, that expands, that then moves to beyond your body and envelopes your aura, and then you move that energy out into your room, your house, your community, the earth. So this peace vibration is meant to be healing and comforting. It's also a reminder that when you send this energy out and you're also allowing it to come in, because now I'm seeing how it can come in as well from the soul, from the higher self vibration, it clears the space. It just clears things away. And that's part of what we're gifted with right now, is that clearing away, clearing away, clearing away, not attaching, allowing it to float away and to dissolve. Because Pisces is the energy of dissolving, of transcendence, of something fading and coming back in another form. You don't want to hold anything in your body, in your aura, in your mind, in your heart that prevents you from even moving into this new energetic formation. So I hope that that gives you a feeling of peace, a reminder of peace, and an invitation to go into peace that is not of the mind, that is not of the ego, that is not of anything outside of you. And it's a reminder that, okay, I had this experience. You know, the experience can be neutral. The emotions around it can be neutral. And then there will be new experiences that take you forward. Part of the Aquarius energy right now is your future self. And what would your future self say about what you're letting go of now, of what you're allowing to end in your life, of what you're circling through? If it's been deep, if it's been intense, all okay, all normal, all part of this humanness that we move through, to not judge yourself or to hold those judgments, but to just allow it be something that's taught you, that's healed you, and that's helped you grow and evolve. Because as I said, we spiral up. So Chiron goes into Aries in February 19th, 20th, and we spiral up to this next level of self, the next level of the I am energy field, and the new beginning is truly underway. So being gentle, being kind, being accepting of yourself and everyone is key, and that's part of kind of like this underlying energy. Around everything else that's going on, there's a part of you that knows that you can't ever go back, you can't ever experience certain things, and you're okay with that. There's a new invitation to be okay with that. So that feels complete right now, actually, and I'm going to leave it at that for today's show. So thank you, everybody, for joining me. I'll be back on Monday for another healing topic, special topic. And, of course, I'll be back next Wednesday with another talk about the current astrology and energies of the month as we close out January and move into February. Keep in mind you can sign up for the weekly astrology transits class. Use coupon code PODCAST. And if you're interested in any of the galactic stories and information, please check out Starseed Radio Academy and look into their crystal digs. You can get more information emailed to you at crystals@starseedhotline.com. Okay, friends, I appreciate you and that you're here on the journey, that we're doing this together. Hey, go team, right? That's Aquarius too. Aquarius is the team. So we'll talk more about Aquarian energies and archetypes as we move through Aquarius season. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful week ahead, and I'll see you soon. Take good care.